All right, in case you didn't know, it's election day today.
Cody's Caravan is checking out one man's collection of political memorabilia over time. Hi, Code.
Hi, good morning to you guys, and happy election day, Adam. Happy election day.
Happy election day to you too. How many does this make for you?
How many election days
How
I've
many
been
elections
through?
have you been to?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it on the TV, Adam. That's a mean
That's a personal
question. That
question.
is terrible, terrible. What do you have in your hand right there?
You remember voting for Wilkie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. You were,
That's big Wilkie guy.
Oh, yeah. He was popular with the kids. Reagan was a Californian. You remember? He was on Death Valley days. He was governor of our state. In 1980, he ran and won the presidency against Jimmy Carter, and then in 1984, he ran for re-election. So, of course, you know, if you were a Westerner and supporting Ronald Reagan, you could wear this sheriff's star. Makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. This piece right here, I'm fascinated by. What is this?
Really nice. Another way to support your candidate was attaching this to your automobile. So this would have been put on your bumper, I guess, you know, before bumper stickers became popular, but they had stickers, they had adhesives, but this would have been a really nice end automobile attachment.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And as we see people, you know, they're driving around with their cars, they got stickers, they got, you know, all sorts of stuff in their cars.
Yeah.
But it started with that.
Marketing has always been part of the American ethos. You know, it's always about promoting, you know, who you want to win, and you can do that with a button. You can do it with a badge. You can do that with, you know, a 9-inch button that, you know, from 1964. This is like big enough to serve dinner on. Yeah.
I thought it was a Frisbee.
It could have been a Frisbee.
I thought it was a Frisbee.
But all of this comes back to the way that America decides to show how it supports its candidates. Whether it's I Like Ike or whether it's Teddy Roosevelt. Roosevelt was so iconic that he didn't even put his name on his buttons. Just his face.
Really?
That was enough.
Really?
You know, you have the teeth and the glasses, and Roosevelt wins in a landslide in 1904.
If I ever run for public office, it's just going to be a bow tie. That's all I'm going to have on it.
You could have a bow tie.
This was, of course, a monumental part of our history here in America.
1960. Yeah. Nixon-Kennedy debates were the first debates in modern American history. And it was amazing to sort of contrast, if you were a viewer versus a listener, who won the debates. Now, Kennedy was a master of the image and wore a dark suit. Nixon wore a gray suit. The contrast couldn't have been more dramatic. They had 4 debates. A lot of people don't know this. The first one, of course, with Howard K. Smith in New York, and then one of them was remote. One candidate was on the East Coast, one candidate was on the West Coast. And television has, dare I tell you, changed the American political scene.
Yeah. I like to think that, you know, we had something to do with it. I'm just saying. We were going to show you more of his incredible political collection and talk about an upcoming event where you could go to right here in Sacramento and check out some of this stuff. Back to you guys in the studio. It's fascinating.
Kenny, do you think who is Stormy K? Can you tell us who Stormy K is on the cover of that Nixon?
Stormy K.
On that Nixon Kennedy
magazine.
TV debates and
yeah.
Stormy K. What does that mean?
Who the heck is that?
Well, I think they're talking about Khrushchev.
Oh, Khrushchev. That makes sense.
That was his rap name.
Okay.
I'm going to have to open up another.
Yeah, that was his rapper name. That's what it was. Stormy K.
They listed him like that in the Vibe, in the source, too.
Yeah.
Stormy K.
Remember him?
Stormy K in the house.
Oh.
I see.
All right, back to you guys.
Needed
upon a time,
the
we didn't,
contemporary
like
context to get that. Thank you, Code. Appreciate it.
Welcome back. Happy Election Day to you all. We're checking out my friend Adam's political collection. These things are just amazing. It's like the way you can tell the story of America through these things. I love it. But there's a thing about Americans. We are snarky people. We're a country of snarks.
We have a wonderful history of humor, all the way from Benjamin Franklin to present day. And some of that is expressed in the political button, whether it's making fun of Halloween, you know, Goldwater for Halloween, Obama-Biden, vote for Obama-Biden, all of these things. I think it's really interesting that in 1964 it said Kennedy for king, Goldwater for president. This was prior to the assassination. But obviously, you know, don't settle for peanuts. Elect Gerald Ford. But we have had turbulent times. We've had America at war. We've had America, you know, fighting for women's rights for voting. All of those things can be synthesized into these items. The American Political Items Collectors gets together once a year here in Sacramento to celebrate, share, buy, sell, trade, the whole 9 yards. But these items are more than ephemera. They're the story of our nation.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, this blows my mind because this is something that should have never survived. This is a little paper cup that says "Coffee with Kennedy." It's so delicate.
The Kennedy family would have little coffee clutches with Senator Kennedy and even without Senator Kennedy to try to encourage small gatherings, you know, sort of like the town hall we have today or even smaller, just getting together and doing one-on-ones. This would have been served at that moment.
Yeah.
So this shouldn't survive. This is ephemeral. It's not meant to be preserved, but yet here it is.
Yeah. Somebody lovingly took care of this and held it.
Somebody was voting in 1960, perhaps because of that.
Yeah, because of that one cup of coffee. Amazing, amazing. Okay, this one right here, I love.
Well, and this is great. Again, buttons, you're not seeing a lot of buttons these days. It's a vanishing species. But in 1903, Teddy Roosevelt came to California for the very first time as part of a 42-month Western tour. People who served with him in the Spanish-American War, the Rough Riders, became his escort. And when he went to Los Angeles, Teddy's Terrors escorted the train when it was here. And this is a sort of a memento of that, of Roosevelt riding a bear, iconic of California. And just his image is captured in caricature. And Roosevelt was a wonderful president to caricature with his teeth and his pince glasses. He would have said that this collection is bully. He would have said that this voting in America is a bully suggestion.
And I agree. This collection is bully. We'll keep looking at it. Lots of stories to be told right here on this table. Oop, don't forget, vote, 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 people, vote. Back to you.
Cody, you brought up a good point, though, that, like, you know, buttons and stuff are disappearing, so there's not going to be as much political memorabilia unless we, like, start saving people's angry tweets. Well, there's not going to be much.
Yeah.
It'll be those
It's
those
true.
non-fungible
It's a problem, actually.
NFTs.
Yeah, we're going to have
That's what the kids will
NFTs
be
and shit.
collecting.
Thank you, Cody.
And welcome back, Cody's Caravan. We're in Davis. This is not a yard sale. This is not a yard sale. These are political buttons and ribbons and things from all over the past. Some of these, they kind of like make me a little weepy because they are so tender, yet they've made it through it. And I feel like that's a metaphor for America.
That's well put. I mean, if you think that women have only had the right to vote since 1920, and this ribbon right here says, you know, under the 19th Amendment, I cast my first vote for Harding and Coolidge, the Republican candidates who ended up winning. But you're right, it is a well-placed metaphor. This is, we're looking at our 250th birthday is coming up, and this is samples of democracy. These are trinkets of history, and it's a way to connect.
Yeah.
It's a real solid way to connect.
And somehow they endure. It endures. Like these ribbons down here are just so delicate and beautiful. Like, how did that endure? But somebody loved them and kept them special.
And if you're interested in seeing more of these items, we're having a political button show, political collectibles, pop culture show on Saturday, December 14th here in Sacramento.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
People, free admission and buttons for kids. And more importantly, you might have something in your closet. You might have something, you know, in grandma's sewing box. We're doing free appraisals.
Oh,
so it's a
excellent.
kind of thing where you can come in, see if you're sitting on treasure, and maybe get some some extra spending cash for the holiday gift.
And you might accidentally learn something. Okay, you get the I like Ike button here.
I think Ike is underrated. They tried to balance that with the Democratic slogan, "Madly Bradley." Not so much. Eisenhower, won the Second World War. His last name was long. It didn't fit on a button. So somebody from Madison Avenue came up with
Ike.
Pretty clever.
I like Ike. Yeah, it worked. It totally worked. We got 30 seconds left. One more little story. What can you tell us? Real quick.
I mean, I think that the power of television is not lost on campaigns. We've seen campaign events all throughout the year. People who are in the news business are you're capturing history. You're the storytellers. So when you see the stories at the end of the day, no one's writing the history books. They're seeing video clips, and when you have a press pass, that's a moment in time. That's a tangible touchstone. So press passes are collectible, buttons are collectible. Everybody who collects should come to the APIC show at Sierra 2 on December 14th.
I will be there, my friend. Thank you very much for showing this off to us. This
Happy
is amazing.
Election Day.
Happy Election Day. Get out there and vote. Get out there. Back to you
Gotta
guys.
participate in the process. That's right.